Violence, violence, violence. That's what we're going to be having right now because we're going to bring you a TVT between SjoW and SeleCT, and it's going to be a best of 3. These guys are in the winners bracket of this tournament right now. One of these guys is going down to the losers bracket, and one will, of course, advance. The two Terran players in this particular tournament are fighting for survival, both top-class international athletes. They should really rename that. Athletes or something? Athletes, you know, with a 1337. Why not? I know, I'll shut up now. SjoW in the red trunks. He is playing Terran right here on the Sugarhouse Plateau versus his opponent and teammate, SeleCT. I keep saying opponent and teammate because half the people here are actually from Team Dignitas, so that's just how it is. There's nothing wrong with that. They're all absolutely amazing. But there you go. Yes, SjoW and SeleCT in the TVT matchup. I'm looking forward to this. I like my TVT. I prefer my TVT to my PvP, and certainly to my ZVZ. Whether or not this one will turn out to be good, yeah, I certainly wouldn't call it a coin. Just, oh no, SjoW, don't, no. Goody style. Okay, we're going to be here for the next hour. I hope you guys like macro games. Goody style. We're going to build 6 factories, and then we're going to build 79 Thors, and that seems entirely reasonable. Yes. It's unfortunate that Goody wasn't actually able to be here today. He was supposed to be, but unfortunately he had to cancel due to illness, which is very upsetting. Goody, an outstanding player. He's known as the Panzer King for a very good reason. He's a German that likes to build tanks, which should be worrying for the rest of the world, really. But yeah, Goody is an absolutely outstanding player. He's done very, very well in online tournaments. I believe he's still in the TSL, actually, which would make him one of the best players in the world. Let's be honest, that's what it would do, because Goody has just done so very, very well. Really, really impressive play. That and the fact that nobody expects the Goody Inquisition when he comes along with 25 siege tanks, 6 Thors, 37 Hellions, and a partridge and a pear tree. SeleCT with the barracks, SjoW with the barracks. What does it mean? Let's have a little bit of an insightful look at the construction of the barracks right here. Well, the barracks means that he's going to build units from it. Shock horror, yes, my analysis is A grade. Or indeed maybe S rank, so S rank. So I've been watching too much Street Fighter and Marvelous Capcom 3 around here at the race booth, which I might add has been absolutely awesome. Really, really good. I quite like to play with those new Razer controllers, actually. It'd be pretty awesome. Pretty cool. Sounds like a plan. They have a fairly heavy presence here in the game zone. I don't really blame them. They also bring the eye candy, which I can't really complain about. Marines are being constructed. I know, I'm shocked too in this TVT. And SjoW driving SeleCT away. However, that factory has been spotted by him. And now an expansion for SeleCT. Yep, feeling pretty hearty about himself. Although I don't know if he should, considering SjoW could very easily go into Hellions from this, and that could cause SeleCT a whole heap of problems. SeleCT is actually playing in the blue color this time around, which is very confusing because he usually likes the red. Doing that on purpose, deliberately to ruin this particular broadcast, folks. Why are my indicators white? I really, really do not know right now, but hey, there you go. Double gas coming up for SeleCT right there, just to follow that one up. The command center into the gas makes perfect sense. Try and save a few minerals. Cost 75 when you're trying to build a command center pretty early. That's kind of vital. You want to try and hold on to that and just survive with the Marines for the time being. Tech Lab is coming down for SjoW, however, so it might even be Goody style, as he was claiming. It could be a Panzerfest as opposed to a Panzerforst. Hellions, nah. I knew it. I should have known it was coming a mile away. Hey, SjoW's building Infernal Pre-Igniter Hellions because, of course, he cannot frickin' resist. He just can't. I mean, do you blame the guy? I think he's barely built Pre-Igniter Hellions the entire day, and now, of course, he's going to be doing that. Rolling out with some Marines as well. He'll be able to take control of that Zelnaga Watchtower. He has no idea what his opponent is doing because he didn't bother to send out a scout. He'll certainly find out in the not-too-distant future, and that Infernal Pre-Igniter Hellion could be a little bit of a pain in the ass. Now, keep an eye on SeleCT, however, because SeleCT does see the Hellion moving out, and, of course, he does see the Marines as well, and SeleCT has already left. I don't really blame him. Tries to get out of that almost immediately. Unfortunately, he might get barbecued, and he will! Oh, that's one Marine going down. Could even lose the second one. Yes, it's very, very likely that he's going to lose the second one. He tries to stand his ground, but you know exactly what's going to happen in that situation. You know what? Power armor's really rubbish if it sets on fire so freaking easily. I don't even know why they use it. Let's bear that one in mind. Advanced metal armor plating, which stops what exactly? Yeah, evidently not flames. Infernal Pre-Igniter was almost complete. Siege tanks on the way right now for SeleCT. A smart move if he's able to deploy those and rain down some hellfire on his opponent. Although the only fire that's going to be happening right now will be in his base if SjoW is able to get in there with those Infernal Pre-Igniter Hellions, which right now he's not really bothering with. Doesn't feel it. Don't really blame him. SeleCT has not actually deployed as of yet. And also SjoW gained absolutely no scouting information of any description from that run. He only knew that there was no expansion there yet. Didn't see this. He had no idea what was coming. Barracks moving to the front as well, looking for a little bit of a wall off and tanks. And yeah, we're in for the long haul right now. SeleCT a little bit supply blocked, nothing to really worry about though. Starport coming up for him as well. And in come the Hellions, and the tank is already prepared to deal with that. Bunker coming down as well. No Hellions for you, I'm afraid, SjoW. Thank you very much. However, a drop would be extremely effective, bearing in mind right now that SeleCT is really front-loading his defenses to try and defend this orbital command. Orbital command will move down fairly quickly. We do have a Viking coming out, which is a smart move, certainly. Try and one, give some vision range to that tank, and two, try and snipe off any medivacs that come in. Really, you need more than one to do that, but still, point is valid. Means you can't escape, whatever the case. Here comes the medivac, but once again, he's supply blocked as well. So, SjoW just still out, holding the middle of the map with those Hellions. Nothing can really come anywhere near, unless he decides to break the tank out, which seems fairly unlikely right now. Doesn't seem like the kind of thing he would really bother to do. Admittedly, with that many Hellions, he'd probably be able to actually kill the tank. I'm just looking at the HP. Yeah, it's certainly a possibility. Taking a few shots, but hey, you can do it. SeleCT Tech Lab coming up right now. Could be seeing Ravens, could be seeing Banshees. We'll find out. In the meantime, a Viking moving over here for SeleCT. Keep an eye on things. He will get shot down in a blaze of glory by that missile turret if he's not too careful. Viking versus Viking, and unfortunately SjoW got the first shot in, which means that SeleCT will lose. It's going to die. Oh, no, you can't do that. He would have had to be a little bit quicker if he wanted to do that one. And the medevac was not spotted. That's critical. So SeleCT is unaware of what is coming in his direction. Now, we are in fact seeing another Viking, a very smart move there by SeleCT, and he'll be able to deny that medevac if it decides to go in there, which I can only imagine that it will. I mean, what else is he going to do with it? There we go, load him up and drop him down. How much more damage can really be done? The Viking is on the way. It's going to be up in another 10 seconds. He should be able to get into the middle of the line in that time. The Marines are not in the position they need to be, and almost immediately running right into a tank fire. That's not so good. SeleCT was well prepared for that one. And now that's one dead medivac. He'll be able to drop off the Hellions, but that really is about it. The Viking should be able to stay on its ass right now, although it looks like SjoW might be able to get away. Looking for the interception. SeleCT continues to move in, gets another volley in. However, a Marine starts to move in and tries to intercept the Viking. One more volley is all that is required, and down it goes. It was pretty much doomed as soon as it got anywhere near that Viking. Let's do an economic comparison, folks. You can see right here that SjoW is actually a little bit ahead. He is really rolling out quite nicely. He's also expanded to a third base, second expansion. That's fairly quick for a TVT, already 10 minutes into the game, and we're already building more expansions. Very cool. And SjoW also building plenty of Marines, plenty of tanks, falling back on the strategy that he's been using the past few games, which has worked extremely well for him. Well, there's not much left of that, is there? I think he actually barbecued a Viking there, of all things, but hey, that is fairly crazy. SjoW hanging around and denying another expansion right now for SeleCT. However, SeleCT is just sitting there turtling, really. He's got plenty of defense. He's building upgrades aplenty. You can quite clearly see them there in the production tab. Huge amounts of units coming in. Army supply count in favor of SjoW right now, as is the worker supply, but nothing you really need to concern yourself with right now too much. I mean, it's not like either of them are going to be able to push. That's the thing. So, honestly, that's not going to come into play at any time in the near future as a direct result of that. SjoW with air superiority right now. I have to wonder if he will transition into Banshees. He's been known to do that. He's been placing a huge amount of Banshees in the field over the past few games. But right now, just looking to get Viking superiority, hold the air, make sure his opponent doesn't do anything. And right now, his opponent actually doesn't have any aircraft, so those Vikings aren't exactly all that useful. Some harassment could certainly be done with them, admittedly. The question is, will he bother? Looking for the fly pass, and he might end up losing one if he's not careful. Needs to leave right now. SeleCT does not have stim, so he's not actually under any threat, and of course he's not stupid enough to drive them over the Marines. That would be a little bit daft, folks. It's not the kind of thing that a player on SjoW's level has been known to do. Tanks are plenty, but not as many as his opponent. We've got 7 right now, siege tanks, as well as 16 Marines. That is just a really unpleasant line. Nobody, and I do mean nobody, wants to be anywhere near that. Why would you? There's a lot of firepower that's going to rain down on anything. And also considering the Marine count of SjoW, that's going to be lethal to him. SeleCT and SjoW play so often, folks. They are practice partners. They are 2v2 partners, so I can only expect an epic encounter here. Army supply is slightly in favor of SjoW right now. Worker supply as well, although not by a huge amount. He's got this third base fully operational. He does have the planetary fortress, and right now, SeleCT looking to secure his third behind this push. I can only imagine he's not just going to sit around and do nothing. Armory on the way right now for SjoW. Have a look at his upgrade stats. He does have a level 1 weapon, although he doesn't have armor as of yet. Not actually researching it either, but he does have the armory coming in. Thors might come on the field, and SjoW doesn't want those anywhere near. And here comes the deployment. There's the stim, but nothing actually happening right there. He killed a few Hellions. Well, I suppose you can't really complain about that. SeleCT with a wall of tanks. A world of tanks, in fact. Not the kind of thing that you want to run into, really, is it? Look at that. Huge number of tanks. Massive number of tanks. A lot of firepower. No, SjoW, don't do it. You have so much to live for. Evidently not. SeleCT pushing forward once again, trying to stay out of range of that tank force. Why would you not want to run into that tank force? Oh, do you like suicide? I suppose that's a possibility. It's not going to happen. Not for the time being. Sensor tower down right here for SeleCT, and if we have a look at the economic comparison between the two, you see that SjoW is still streaming ahead. Vast number of resources coming in for him, and he should be able to get his army size up to the point where he'll be able to crack that line, but still, running into a bunch of siege tanks seems like a terrible idea. He'll have to try and catch SeleCT unawares, or alternatively, get his aircraft in a position where he's able to dominate. Hellion still scouting around and able to deny any expansion right here, and there's actually no effort for an expansion. In the meantime, SeleCT deciding to push forward, and maybe, just maybe, SjoW has actually spread himself a little bit too thin right now. Unit count is looking pretty good. Deployment on either side right now, and SeleCT still has the tank advantage. Actually, he doesn't. Now SjoW's managed to catch up with him. That could be critical, and SjoW also has the Air Force as well to be able to gain that additional range that his opponent will not be able to do without wasting scans. That's critical, considering that SjoW already has an economic advantage. SeleCT's hanging around. Feeling good about things right now, and I wouldn't really blame him. He's taking some free shots and now starting to shell that planetary fortress. SjoW is going to have to do something about it, and it's going to come in the form of drops by the looks of it. Dropping Marines perhaps in the middle of the tank force sounds like a particularly good idea, but I don't know. It's still a risky venture. Look at that. Huge amounts of shelling raining down for both sides right here. It's a tank war. It's an artillery war. Down go the Marines, and unfortunately SjoW is getting gutted as a result of that maneuver. That wasn't too good at all for him. SeleCT is certainly on the aggression. What the hell is that? He is on the offensive, in fact. He might be on the aggression as well, you never know. His army supply much higher than his opponent. Right now, he doesn't even have the economy to really support this, but he should be able to shortly, especially if he's able to knock out this planetary fortress. Oh, it looks like SeleCT has been forced backwards once again. The deployment has gone down. SjoW with a great amount of shelling coming in. That tank line annihilating large groups of infantry with every salvo. SjoW needs to hold back. In the meantime, the Viking force able to knock down a medevac for free. Nothing wrong with that, and SjoW's air superiority coming into play right now. Once again, shelling coming in, and SjoW will no doubt try and pursue this force, looking for an interception. Here comes the stim. He might well then catch a few tanks out of position. He does it. Here comes the deployment. However, he's already lost 3 tanks, 4 tanks right now, and here comes the deployment from SjoW. This is it. Nothing will be left of SeleCT's force that have that kind of firepower. Nice play there by SjoW, catching SeleCT completely off guard. Well, that's going to be problematic, isn't it? Now the army supply count is shifted in favor of SjoW, and his money is just streaming in. Look at that. Middle count is very good. However, SeleCT is expanding, or at least he was trying to. He's actually not building that at all. He's had to cancel out of that entirely. SeleCT pulling his lines back, and his count is not looking good right now. His siege tank count is at 5 versus 14, and SjoW indeed playing goodie style. He's looking for 16 siege tanks right now. He's even got +1 weapon upgrade on them. Nothing survives that kind of firepower. He's actually with +1. Now he can't, but almost. With +1, he was able to one-shot Marines. That is not good. That is not what you want. I mean, they did 55 damage, and of course the Marines take, well, they have 55 life, but he does have level 1 armor, which means they will survive with 1 HP left. If he's able to get level 2 tank upgrade, they will just obliterate Marines in a single shot, and that will not be good for SeleCT at all. SeleCT holding the defensive line right now. I am very surprised not to see some aggression, but actually it looks like we're going to get it just here. 3 medevacs, chock full of wonderful surprises. Well, that's 1 dead base by the looks of it, and a lot of dead missile turrets. Yeah, freebies, folks. With their counts, it looks like they were, and SjoW now pushing forward. And this is forcing SeleCT to pull off his front line, which will allow SjoW to push forward. I'll have to see whether or not he's going to do that, though. Will SjoW do it? It makes perfect sense. Most of the mobile forces are pushed forward. Most of the tanks remain there. However, the medevacs have mostly escaped. He's able to get away with 2 out of 3. SjoW, puzzlingly, not actually doing anything right now. I would have thought that would have been a great time to roll forward, but he's going to do it right now. He's really got the forces to make this happen. He should be able to crack this line with no problem whatsoever and eliminating the aircraft of his opponent. However, he's got to be quick about this because the Marines and Marauders are getting back into position. Here's the redeployment. Does he have the range? He doesn't. He can't bring down any firepower right now on top of SeleCT, unless SeleCT decides to roll in the middle of it, which is what's happening. There we go. 3 Marines for SjoW right now. Economic comparison is in favor of SjoW. Army comparison is still in favor of SeleCT, however. The question is, can he do anything with it? And he doesn't have an upgrade advantage. He really, really does not. He has no weapons upgrades for his tanks at all. And level 2 is almost complete right now. It's over halfway for SjoW. That's very good for him indeed. Be very, very careful with his maneuvering. That's a lot of tanks in the field. And that's a lot of firepower. It's going to rain down on SeleCT's head if his positioning is even the slightest bit off. Okay, SjoW. Well, that is the patented 7 orbital command center build. Very unusual. Or is it? Here's the thing. I'm thinking, if SjoW actually pulls this off, I'm going to be so very happy. But I'm thinking you mule drop in the middle of that, and all of those tanks are going to kill each other. But yeah, 7 orbital commands is not what I would class as particularly usual. However, SeleCT's mass force of doom is just going to fall on top of SjoW right at this very moment. Exploiting those immobile forces, that's not going to be good for SjoW at all. Look at this. Look at the amount of damage that's going to be coming in right here. That mineral line is gone. That orbital command center is gone. Well, he's got about 9 others, but that doesn't really matter so much. He's going to be able to gut the production facilities. And in the meantime, SjoW's going to get back there as quickly as possible, and he can't really do anything. Barracks down, tech labs down, factories down. Everything you could possibly imagine being slaughtered right now by SeleCT's drop force. And in the meantime, imagine to hold the line against it, being pushed back by the SCVs. He needs to get the hell out there immediately before those tanks are able to deploy and rain down death and destruction on him. I'm still not entirely convinced by this build, honestly. That is quite a lot of command centers, really. That is actually 10 in total, 10 orbital command centers here for SjoW. It's intriguing. He's building 3 upgrades at once because he can. He has level 3 vehicle weapon upgrades coming in, mostly because he can, really. Once again, the drop force moving in, and actually, is SjoW going to be able to respond to this? He's caught out of position again. That's kind of not good. He's having his base gutted right now, which is not ideal. Really, it's suboptimal. The question is, can SeleCT actually apply pressure anywhere else? Really can. He can rain it down on this command center right here. Got an expansion over there, and just, I want to keep an eye on this, because there are 2 medevacs right now just sitting over there doing nothing. They could inflict quite a lot of damage, and SeleCT with a very smart move to actually take the fight to his opponent. And income-wise, he's still lagging behind. Army size-wise, he's still lagging behind, but he was able to do a lot of damage to production buildings, and that is very important. SjoW, seriously, 14 mules? I mean, really? That... Well, he's going to mine that out pretty damn fast. In the meantime, SeleCT also looking for a push into the line. Should be able to do a lot of damage if he actually does pick up a drop right here. And SjoW, he doesn't have the mobility. He really, really doesn't. However, he does have a planetary fortress, so that kind of helps. And I have to wonder how many... Yeah, SeleCT have found all those command centers. They must be wondering what the hell is going on right now. In the meantime, he's able to gut a substantial portion of SjoW's forces. However, SCVs are plenty, driving away. Now SeleCT building 5, yes, count them, 5 starports. Once again, the patented 5 starport build is in play. A good transition from the 7 orbital command center build, so I'm told. Shifting the metagame right here in this TVT encounter as SjoW and SeleCT just kill each other so very horribly. SeleCT now still not got the army count advantage, but he could get position right here. Looking for it, takes a little bit of shelling, but not a huge amount. His opponent is out of position right now. He's pushing right into a huge siege tank firepower line. I don't want to go over there. Don't do it. That's terrible. No. A lot of firepower. That's 60 damage. That would just rip through those forces. No amount of armor is going to protect them from that. I wonder if SjoW's actually forgotten about these things, or if they're just waiting for an amazing gambit. We'll find out. SeleCT pushing across, trying to secure various different areas on the map. Wants to try and maybe kill a few of those command centers because he thinks his opponent has too many of them. And I wouldn't really disagree with that. Terran vehicle weapon level 3, which is a fairly rare upgrade to see unless you are playing with Goody, is coming up right now for SjoW, and he's gonna have it very, very soon, right about now. And here comes the drop. Well, there's nothing left of those tanks. That's guaranteed. SeleCT rains it down, charging into the line right here. Wow, SjoW is just throwing him in there, and it's enough to break the line of SeleCT in the meantime. Still, those drops are doing nothing. SeleCT guts one, looks for a second CC. You know, he should just build them all into planetary fortresses. That would have made things much more difficult. SeleCT pushed forward, and he should be able to take that one out right there. It is on fire. A little bit more firepower will do the job. Breaks it. Still doing nothing with these. Keep an eye on that one, folks. SeleCT is destroying a lot of mules. If you couldn't already see that. You see those little yellow things? They're exploding. That's not good for SjoW. That is not ideal at all. SeleCT is bringing the fight to him. The income count is now in favor of SeleCT. The army count is still way in favor of SjoW. The thing is, SjoW can't do anything with it. He's being forced to respond over and over and over again to attacks on his economy, and he's actually mining himself out very fast right now. He does have a lot of money in the bank, but still, he is mining himself out incredibly quickly. Building armor upgrade coming up for SjoW. Interesting. Well, that's probably not a terrible idea considering what's happening to his bases. It's a reasonable idea. A lot of missile turrets coming down for him as well. He needs to actually, well, attack something. I've heard that's a great idea. That's something that has been known to work from time to time. I think SeleCT has so many Marines and so many drop ships that he can get in there and do huge damage anywhere on the map. He's also got a force of siege tanks covering his advance, which is very smart play by him. And it looks like we will get a conclusive engagement of some description going on now. Thor's on the way right now for battle cruisers on the way for SeleCT. Hell, why not? I'm okay with that. SjoW rains it down on SeleCT once again. Free medevacs, folks. Free medevacs being thrown in right here. That Viking might go down. Hey, I've got battle cruisers. Okay, that's cool. Why not? That's a lot of Vikings for SjoW, though. Well, it was. There come the battle cruisers. That's a lot of melted fighters. He needs to target fire that one down. Here comes the Stim Marines, which will do precisely nothing, and the Stim Marauders, which will do very little as well. SeleCT still taking a lot of fire right now. He's able to eliminate the tanks. Just medevacs falling down in flames, and he's actually pushing them back because SjoW doesn't have anything to really deal with those battle cruisers. Breaking the deadlock right here, and a very smart move by him. SeleCT continues with the push right now. SjoW on the back foot. His army supply is finally lower than SeleCT, and SeleCT should be able to do big damage here. His income's not looking too healthy either. Thor's on the way, which is not an ideal counter. We're looking for Vikings right now. Terran ship weapon level 1 is coming in, although it's also coming in for the battle cruisers as well. Takes a lot of firepower from there. He needs to get away almost immediately. Vikings raining it down right now on SeleCT. Remaining battlecruiser in comes a counterforce of Vikings. Drive him away as quickly as possible. No Yamato cannon available. That would be kind of nice. But SeleCT still with a commanding position, and he's able to also secure these two areas right here if he decides to expand. Should be okay for him. This is turning into an interesting little fight going on. Very interesting indeed. I hope it doesn't go on for too much longer, because if it does, we'll actually end up having to close this down and resume this tomorrow. SeleCT loads it up, and we're looking for big damage on SjoW's economy once again. The thing is, SjoW actually barely has an economy left. He's got very little left to mine, and you can see that in terms of what he's actually losing. Rains down as much as he can. The battle cruiser is now in the field, doing as much damage as possible. SjoW is going to be forced backwards. The Thors are deployed in order to deal with this. In the meantime, also, SjoW is going to lose that planetary fortress as well. Down it goes, no repairs for him. SjoW's economy being torn apart, and SeleCT continuing with this aggression. Two more battle cruisers on the way for him. Nothing left in terms of SjoW's mining. Right now, army supply is looking pretty good for him as well. SjoW pushing forward once again, and SeleCT taking a lot of ground-to-air fire. One down, looking for the second one. He loses it. The third battle cruiser will survive that particular encounter, however. What exactly is SeleCT doing, other than trying to whittle down his opponent? That is really all he is doing right now. It's kind of all he can do. Taking out another orbital command center by the looks of it. A lot of Viking torpedoes bring that down. The battlecruiser will fall from the sky after one more salvo, and down it goes. But still, SeleCT should have a commanding lead in terms of his army. It was looking fairly good for him earlier. SeleCT should be able to easily rebuild his economy. Will allow him to do just that. He has two more battlecruisers on the field right now, and two more in the making. Looking for a decisive push. Can he get it? He might. He very well might. The thing is, he can't really do a lot of damage, honestly. It keeps deploying those siege tanks. They get ripped up there by the Thors. And Thors with level 3 weapons, that's a lot of firepower. It's a massive number of guns and massive amount of damage. Battlecruiser pushing in once again, though. Takes down the Thor, and that's a bunch of free tanks for him right there. If he's able to do it, and yeah, he is. Takes one, looks for the second one. Doesn't have a Yamato cannon once again. So the tanks are possibly the only thing that can, well, what else is going to outrun a battlecruiser, really? I mean, battlecruisers aren't all that quick at the best of times. In the meantime, he's still got these bloody medivacs in the corner. Why is he not doing anything with them? Oh, I suppose he just hasn't noticed them. There we go, free center tower for him. SeleCT's force is actually kind of running out. But then again, so is SjoW. SjoW doesn't have a massive army either, and his income is not looking amazing. He actually has no income of any description. SjoW pushing forward now with an armored column. I'm very surprised to see him not just pull all his SCVs off the line. Oh, it's because he only has 23 of them. Missile turret coming in. SeleCT should really, by all rights, have this if he's able to actually finish this off. 2 more battlecruisers moving in, taking fire from the ground, but not a huge amount. Melt through those siege tanks very easily, especially with a level 1 upgrade. Ship plating absorbing a ton of fire right now from those Javelin missile launchers. Nothing to really worry about there, even though they are heavily upgraded. Missile turret ripping through the armor of the battlecruiser. Needs to leave immediately. It will not get away. The Vikings will make sure of that, tearing through those tanks as rapidly as possible. Still, the medevacs do nothing. Lord knows why. This could be the end of folks. It's looking likely that Thor's going to go down. Still a lot of tank fire coming in, though. SjoW should be able to hold it, and he does, once again. But he has no money. He has no money of any description. There's another battlecruiser over there as well, so that one's going to go down. SeleCT, come on, SeleCT. You know you have this one. Surely you have this one. Ship weapons level 2 coming in as well. Army count for SjoW is not looking great. GG, ladies and gentlemen. I'm afraid the 7 orbital command center build was not effective right there for SjoW, and SeleCT takes the first in this best of 3 series. Welcome back to the 7 Macro Command Center Invitational, as sponsored by... No, I'm sorry, that's not what it's called, but it might as well be. This is the one and only Gadget Show Invitational, £5,000, sponsored by Alienware. My name is Total Biscuit, bringing you the madness between teammates SjoW and SeleCT. SjoW has forgotten how to play TVT, son. Yeah, actually, I've got to say that SjoW's TVT is... It's good, but it's probably not his best matchup, really. I mean, we've seen him dominate all sorts of different players, but really, he's lost quite a few tournaments in a TBT environment. And SeleCT, he played pretty well overall. Not too bad, you know, 5 starports, completely standard. Actually, I think it was 6. Yep, I'm fairly sure it was. And of course, there's 7 macro command centers. You might wonder what a macro command center is if you're new to the game. Well, it's a command center that's built for the sole purpose of doing nothing more than dropping supply drops, scans, and mules. And some people have started building them lately. It's coming into the meta game just a little bit. That said, they generally don't build 7 at once. That is unusual. I think that's probably a first. And maybe SjoW's just trying to, well, show off. Yeah, sorry, I'm getting my producer even laughing in my ear. They're going, yeah, shut up, Total Biscuit. Yeah, I don't really blame him, honestly. That seems like an entirely reasonable reaction to that. But whatever the case, trying to show off in terms of, I'm better than TLO. TLO built 7 barracks, I built 7 command centers. Aren't I a wonderful, wonderful thing? Unfortunately for SjoW, he forgot the idea that instead of building 7 command centers, he could have also built units and maybe killed his opponent. And yeah, he ended up losing to SeleCT as a direct result of that. But hey, that's because he was showboating, am I right? I'm sorry. It's the end of the day. We've been casting since 10 in the morning. I've been up since quarter to 7 even. Yes, quarter to 6 would be ridiculous. Quarter to 7 is equally ridiculous, by the way. No man should have to face the morning sun in that way. We were not designed that way. If we were, it would be way more pleasant. And it's not. We don't like it. Obviously, humans were not designed to get up that early in the morning. Designed to have a lie-in. And if we weren't, then why does it feel so good? SeleCT, you need to leave immediately. There you go. No problem whatsoever. This is this will definitely be the final series of today. It may even be the final matchup of today if SeleCT is able to actually pull this one off. He does have a reactor coming. He's going to try and end this one nice and early by the looks of it. An early marine push perhaps, maybe even a contain. Although bear in mind that that factory is coming up for SjoW, so a contain will be easily broken by a single siege tank, really. Let's find out what's going to happen there. Reactor coming down, no factory, so we're not going to swap around for that. And a command center coming up. He does have the refinery. He's not going down the same build as he, well, did last time. And also a couple of other players have also gone down the route of not building any gas, going into a CC earlier, and then building double gas to follow that one up. That's not the case in this particular setup. Makes perfect sense, really. If you sacrifice the gas earlier on, you can get a CC out quicker. It's as simple as that. There's nothing more complicated. I think that sometimes people overcomplicate their analysis of builds a little bit, and I know that there's really a place for that. There really, really is, especially on shows like, of course, the Day 9 dailies. But in this case, usually there's a nice, simple reason behind things. You don't need to overcomplicate it by overthinking. Just pick the most obvious reason why that would happen. Starport coming down right here for SjoW. One Hellion is out. Are we looking for drops? We certainly could be. Tech Lab is coming up. Is it Hero Banshee? Can it be Hero Banshee? It looks like it might be Hero Banshee. We do have a Tech Lab coming up for that, and it's timed pretty well, as you can see, so that's going to be finished around the same time. So a swap around is probably going to happen, and the Banshee play will come in. However, will SjoW be able to deal with it? SeleCT, in fact. Will SjoW be able to deal with it as well? Will he be able to outmaneuver his opponent in order to deal with that? There's a lot of Marines on the field, but bear in mind, of course, without detection, that's not going to help too much. Here comes the Banshee, and here comes the Cloak. This is not an ideal situation for SeleCT. Not at all. He will have 2 scans worth of CC, but right now, of course, he's looking to play economic catch-up. He just needs to get as many mules down as possible, get his economy really rolling. He sacrificed a lot early to get this command center out. He needs to repay that investment. Otherwise, they'll come along and break his kneecaps, folks. He actually got the money he needed, those minerals, from a Terran loan shark. A little bit unfortunate. Problematic. They don't take kindly to delays in payment. And no, they will not defer it. Balance transfer? Not exactly. Unless you mean transferring your balance from the unbroken, well, from the broken kneecap to the unbroken kneecap. It's a possibility. More Marines, more Marines. Useful thing to build. Another Banshee on the way. The Cloak is not complete yet, certainly. Now, SeleCT really doesn't have any idea this is coming, but he must suspect it, surely. If he's able to get a starboard out there, doing a swap around, he might be doing a Banshee of his own right now. That'll be interesting, but it won't come out anywhere near in time. Or we could build a Raven, which is exactly what he's doing. A very smart play by him. However, SjoW is going to get a little bit of harassment in just to start things off. What have we got? Caduceus Reactor. What, seriously? Oh, who the hell builds Caduceus Reactor? Apparently, SeleCT builds Caduceus Reactor. But you guys don't even know what that is, do you? Yeah, Caduceus Reactor is energy, starting energy for medevacs. I don't know either. It's fairly rare, honestly. It's not. But then again, I don't know. I suppose it would kind of make sense. Think about it. Escorted by a Raven, pump out an early medevac, and then go for an early push with it. No, it's still silly. I can't think of a single good reason why he'd do that. But hey, I'll go with it. I'll go with it. I would have expected, you know, durable materials would have made more sense. Certainly Corvid Reactor. No question, if he's going to build more than one Raven, definitely Corvid Reactor. But that is a little odd, I have to say. I don't even know if he actually managed to finish that. I think he did, but he then just did the swap around. Maybe he cancelled out of it. It's odd. Very, very odd. My apologies, I've been casting for quite the day and my voice is starting to get a little bit rough. Well, SeleCT, he's got Marines. That should be his tagline, shouldn't it, really? SeleCT, I have Marines. Isn't that great? Does he have Siege Tank deployment? He does. Are we going to get a push? We are. SjoW already has an expansion and he might be looking to get another one. What will Caduceus Reactor do? I don't know why you would do that. He must have cancelled it, surely. Of course, there's no way to find out because he's now moved this starport off that tech lab. He probably hasn't cancelled it, knowing him. He's just, hey, why not? Just build the upgrade that nobody builds. Hell, I think I can think of one thing that's a little bit more useless, and that is actually Behemoth Reactor, which is an upgrade most people don't even know exists. He's a little crazy. Raven moving forward. Not a huge amount. Not a huge amount of Marauders on the field. Actually, none by the looks of it. So I can't see how useful that's going to be. We'll deal with the Viking torpedoes quite nicely. SeleCT pushing forward once again, looking for an opening. He's not going to find one, though. SjoW's already walled off right here. Hum. What would you do in this situation? Probably look really confused. That's what I'm doing. Oh, Medevac just finished. Did it happen? He actually did. He did it. He bloody did it. Oh, God. I think he did anyway. Or did they start with 50? I don't know. I can't actually remember what they start with. I'm sorry, I can't. It's something I never really concerned myself with. Auto turrets down right here, and a push by SeleCT. However, he's going to get rained down on by tanks. So not a huge amount there. But he can steal a supply depot, so he's feeling fairly happy about that. Can he push forward, more to the point? How much damage can he really inflict here? He doesn't have a unit count, and SjoW's actually charging in the line right here. That's not good for him at all. That's one free tank. Looking for the second one. He did a huge amount of SCVs in the process, though. Oh, yes, that was very unpleasant. Worker supply now for SjoW is 30 to 49. Not good. SeleCT falling back all the way back, and he's going to have to. He doesn't really have a choice in the matter. Another command center coming down for SeleCT, and SeleCT in a very comfortable position right now, assuming that he'll be able to repulse any kind of counterattack coming in from SjoW. He has a slight disadvantage in terms of his unit count, but nothing he can't fix. And those medevacs rolling out on the field, no problem for him at all. 2 siege tanks right there. Let's clear that out and get a nice expansion into the gold minerals. Be able to grab that very, very quickly. No problems for him at all. However, is SjoW actually going to get aggressive? Well, he doesn't really have the units for it. Looks like he's just going to try and grab that gold mineral at some point. Or grab this one over here. Both these are a possibility. I would think that he'd go for the gold minerals. It would make more sense. And that's going to involve a rather long ground war, I think. We do have a sensor tower coming up right here, charging the line. Can he get in there as quickly as possible? He takes one. He looks for the second, but he doesn't. He's having to pull back through the line of fire, and that is not good at all. SjoW able to inflict a large number of casualties right here, and we do have a standoff right now, a showdown at the OK Corral between these two. He's able to drill through those destructible rocks. He'll be able to gain access to those wonderful gold minerals. In the meantime, SjoW's moving out to his own, and I wouldn't worry for him at all. Certainly very, very soon once he's able to start mining that stuff. Hey, maybe if you had 7 macro command centers right now, you'd be able to mine it out in about 30 seconds. Who knows? I don't know what he'd actually do with that money. Sensor towers coming up for both. One on one side, one on the other. Look at this nonsense. Look at that. That's great. I love it. Oh, this engagement in the middle is going to be interesting and a little bit messy. I would honestly expect to see drop play as opposed to a stalemate in the middle. That doesn't make a lot of sense. Why would you want to hang around and do that? If he ends up in a stalemate, then SeleCT will probably end up winning it. His army count's looking pretty good right now, although not ideal. Vikings starting to snipe off this. He needs some missile turrets down there. Doesn't actually have any to cover his forces moving in. Upgrades-wise, does he even have any? I don't think he does. He's got level 1 Gauss rifle, and that's it. So nothing major. He needs to get some missile turrets out and start to get a hold of this area. The thing is, what can he really do here? This is going to be a stalemate. It's going to be a showdown. Let's have a look at the economy right now. Yeah, mineral count for SjoW looking pretty good. However, it's going to look good for SeleCT as well once he's able to saturate that planetary fortress on the way up for both. Is anyone really surprised? Why would you not build a planetary fortress there? SeleCT just hanging around right now. What can he do? He needs to find an area to actually go and attack. I mean, he can't really sit there. This is the problem when you get a Terran standoff. You get tanks in the middle on either side, and neither of them are willing to move out, because if they move, then the other guy will rain fire on them. However, mobile tanks are actually doing a good job right here. He's going to lose a lot of Marines in the process, however. Will SjoW be able to charge through that line and do the damage? He looks for it. Takes 1 tank, takes 2, looks for the 3rd. It's good. It's very, very good. And SeleCT driven away very easily there by SjoW. Nice play by him, and minimum sacrifice required in order to make that happen. Have a look at army supply count right now, firmly in favor of SjoW. Can he capitalize on it? Debatable. Let's have a look at units lost, and you'll see SeleCT has bled a large number of resources in the process. Tanks on the way out for both. Armor coming out for both as well. It's a free Viking right there, or will it be? No, it's a 2-for-1 trade. It's still fairly reasonable. Still a free Viking in there. SjoW pushing forward once again, takes control of the Zelnaga Watchtower to really no avail. Although is he in range? No, he is not. He's almost in range of that sensor tower, but not quite. That would be a little bit unfortunate there for SeleCT. More tanks on the way, and are we actually seeing any drops of any description? Short answer, no. We are not seeing anything of the sort right now. Let's build a missile turret. Well, you're actually getting shot at, SeleCT, so that's probably not the best idea. You might want to cancel it, cancel it, cancel it. Did he cancel it? Well, maybe you didn't, but still, it's a loss of 100 resources, so it's not all that major. SeleCT taking a little bit of shelling right now, turns around, and of course that will probably result in that tank going down. Oh, nice shot there by SeleCT, able to get in the shot just before that siege tank goes down. Sensor tower going up once again to rebuild what was there before, and he should be able to get that fixed up nice and easy. Army count supply right now is definitely in favor of SjoW. The question is, can SjoW break that line in any way? I'm surprised not to see any kind of drop play still. I mean, this area very vulnerable to drops. This area very vulnerable to drops. This area very vulnerable to being shot in the face. And there it comes. Now that's not the kind of line you want to go into at all. He actually also has range on the planetary fortress just from a few of those tanks. thing is he doesn't have visibility. Needs to get forward with a Viking. Needs to just do a scan or something to start inflicting big damage. I think it's only a few of those tanks are really in range. He's not doing a huge amount of damage to that planetary fortress. Keep an eye on things, folks. Keep an eye on things. Things might get interesting. SeleCT pushing forward once again, trying to find a flank on his opponent. There is a planetary fortress there. There is a siege tank. However, he can take out this. He might... No, he can't force a counter because that's actually down. He could kill this. And there we go. It's gone straight down. Nice play there by SeleCT. Catching SjoW completely out of position. Nothing can happen there. He had no chance of defending it. In the meantime, however, that planetary fortress is taking a bit of a shelling, and the SCV's taking a lot of damage as well. That is a little bit risky right now for SeleCT. Can't be all that happy about it. His mineral count is lagging behind SjoW simply because he can't mine there, whereas SjoW is happily mining away down there. More barracks on the way, another command center to try and sort that one out. SeleCT able to take down that medevac, although not before. A lot of damage is done to the SCVs on that line, and of course the orbital command planetary fortress even of itself. SeleCT pushing forward. However, it's still too risky. I mean, there's just too many siege tanks right there. If I was him, I'd honestly drop a few Marines sort of in the middle line, try and do some splash damage to them, but still, he's not going to do that. He's actually going to flank around, which is probably maybe even a better idea right now. Medevac's moving forward. There is a missile turret right there, which is a little bit risky. That tank's gone almost immediately. He does have visibility, however, so that siege line should be able to do good damage. In the meantime, SjoW moving to intercept. His army count is looking very, very good indeed. Army supply 128 to 97. SjoW still not able to bring down SeleCT's army right here. In the meantime, huge amounts of tank shelling raining down on SeleCT infantry forces. They will be driven into the ground. SeleCT not able to do a lot of damage here at all. However, the siege tank line did annihilate what was left of this gold mineral, which admittedly was not a lot. I mean, he'd already mined out most of it. In the meantime, I'm surprised SjoW actually hasn't gone in for more shelling right now. Maybe even deploying some siege tanks around the back. He could clear this out quite easily and stay out of range of the planetary fortress at the same time. He's not doing that, however. Still more tanks, still more Marines coming out. Now, what's the income like, more to the point? It's pretty much equal, because while SeleCT is taking a lot of damage here, SjoW's pretty much mined out this gold mineral expansion. Army supply is so far in favor of SjoW right now, though. More to the point, can he actually do anything with it? I think that's perhaps the most important thing to have a look at right now. Doesn't matter if you have a big army, it's how you use it. Guarantee. Once again, more free kills and more shelling coming in right here from SjoW. SeleCT looking for interception, but that is a very, very bad idea. That is not where he wants to be at all. This engagement has got to go in favor of SjoW. Oh, Jesus. That is a lot of damage. That is a lot of damage. Army count not good at all right now for SeleCT. Really lagging behind now. And now we're running a bunch of SCVs right now into that siege line. This is a suicidal charge right now by SeleCT. He's got to clear this out, but he's taking so many losses in the process. He's able to melt the tank line. And very effective play by him, but still so much blood. Army supply count is almost double right now for SjoW, and he's about to take full advantage of that. He has got the Zelnaga Watchtower. He's got having control of your opponent's Zelnaga Watchtower on his side of the map is so critical. Very, very useful indeed. The actual visual range you get from that is extreme. SjoW pushing forward right now, and I'm not entirely sure SeleCT can really come back from this. He's looking for it, but SjoW is moving forward under the cover of those tanks. Those tanks for SeleCT are not helping out now at all. Any mobility out there, and here we go, right into the line of SeleCT. He'll be able to bash his way through there, no problem at all. Start gutting the production buildings. A small stimmed force right there, not a huge number. Can he take the medevacs out? It's kind of what he's looking for right now. Focusing fire, brings down one, looks for the second one right here. In comes the second wave, running into a wall of tank fire, and SeleCT is able to defend that quite nicely, and the remaining stim Marines are easily annihilated. This is the game that never ends. Still, SjoW with a commanding lead right now. So army supply looking very, very good. Not entirely sure what SeleCT can really do right now, aside from running into a bunch of tank salvos, which is what's happening right now. SjoW continues to rain it down, and actually SeleCT's going to pull everything off the line just to get in there to clear that out, and that is very risky, because that's really his only economy. He's able to deal with it, however, he wants to do a second line of tanks in the process. GG! Ladies and gentlemen, well played there by SjoW, good positioning, and he takes the second game of this best-of-3 series. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for what should be the final match of today? I certainly hope so. SeleCT and SjoW are going to go at it again. It is 1 apiece in this best-of-3 series. Yes, we're going to go on the Tal'Darim Altar, which is known for very short games. He is being sarcastic, if you didn't already realize this. Oh yeah. These guys are so evenly matched, it's absolutely fantastic. Training partners, 2v2 partners, teammates, and both equally lethal. Let's make it happen. You hear it in the background, folks. Do not ask for who the chime tolls, and tolls for thee. And it's going to be awesome. Let's make it happen, folks. Tal'Darim Altar LE will be the map of choice, the arena for this final encounter between these two. One of these guys is going down into the losers bracket of this tournament, and here we go. SeleCT in the red trunks. He is playing Terran right here on the Tal'Darim Altar to the southwest versus his opponent, the one and only SjoW in the whatever the hell color that is, Trunks. And he is also playing Terran, and he's up to the northwest. What? I don't know what that is. I mean, look at it. That's not a real color. You just made that up. I'm sorry, I can't accept it. I could have just picked something nice, like, I don't know, yellow or pink or something like that. No, SjoW has to be different, la-di-da. Everyone knows that SjoW's a hipster, folks. He is indeed. Well, I'm doing this build called 7 Orbital Command Centers. You probably haven't heard of it. Yes, this is true. This is true. So, what have we seen up until this point? It's a little difficult to remember because we've actually seen so much from these two guys. So, I'm thinking, let's go all the way back. So, SjoW built 7 orbital command centers for no apparent reason. SeleCT did mass drops into battlecruisers, which is obviously the correct transition. In the meantime, SjoW had level 3 weapons upgrades, but unfortunately wasn't able to do anything because his highly immobile tank force was stuck running between drop points. So eventually he ended up losing. In the second matchup, however, SeleCT was repeatedly caught out of position by SjoW. SjoW was able to nail him down by multi-angle attacks. He was able to drain his economy quite nicely. And in that final push, he actually lured his opponent into a trap. A second wave of tanks that he didn't see ended up wiping out the rest of SeleCT's forces, and SjoW took that particular game. So what are we going to see from this one? I don't know, Mass Marine? I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine, I'm afraid. These guys are crazy. They will happily do whatever they please. And of course, bear in mind, neither of them are going out. Obviously, none of them wants to be in the losers bracket, but none of them are going out yet. So, we could see anything. Battlecruiser Rush. You know you want to. One of you wants to do a Battlecruiser Rush. It's all right. It's pretty effective, man. Seriously. In Platinum League, perhaps not a Grandmaster level that these two guys are at. And yes, they are both in European Grandmasters League. We have some of the top international players here. It's kind of silly, really, isn't it? I would love to have more viewers for this, but hey, hopefully we'll be able to get the VODs and then people can watch the madness, which, that's it, isn't it? It is the madness. Nothing more and nothing less from these guys. Yeah. Apparently, some of the VODs are already available on YouTube on Quad V TV, and I will try and steal them for my channel at some point. We'll find out. They're probably shaking their head right now. The production booth said, no, no. It's like, oh, you want the promotion. You know you do. Factory coming down right here for SjoW. Barracks down already for him, of course. Marines coming out. Will SjoW go Hellion? Hey, possibility. He has been known to do it. SeleCT back in his red trunks this time around. Command center coming up for him. Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. SeleCT pushing forward once again. Couple of Marines on the field, nothing major. If those Hellions go down, the Marines will be toasty. The question is, has SjoW actually scouted his opponent? He's actually scouting. No, he isn't. He's getting gunned down. It's not the same thing. You might think it's scouting, but it's not. Command center following up right here for SjoW. Will we see Hellion? Will we see Hellion? Are you going to build a Hellion? SjoW, you're going to build a Hellion. He's going to build a Hellion. Awesome. It's what you want. It's what you need. But that doesn't mean that he's going to stay with Hellion, folks. He could very easily transition after that, maybe building one of those, and then popping down something else. We will find out. In the meantime, SeleCT's getting rather aggressive. And that's actually a big problem. SjoW needs to get that Hellion out immediately to deal with this, because the bunker is going down. In comes the Hellion, already on the SCV right now. He's got to kill that before. He's going to lose the SCV. Or is he? He's actually not going to lose it. Good micromanagement there by SeleCT. Will he lose the Hellion? This is critical. He's only got 25 HP, takes another one, and that's it. That's it. His push was ineffective as a direct result of that. He's so close to losing the Hellion, and SeleCT actually, as far as I'm concerned, mismicroed that. He could have taken that Hellion out. If he had, he would have been able to get the bunker down, and that probably would have been it. Second Hellion to follow up for SjoW right there. Great defense, and now nice and secure right now on that natural expansion for him. SeleCT is already complete, and he's sorting out his orbital command center to make things absolutely wonderful and pretty and fantastic, because, you know, SeleCT is big into pretty and fantastic. It's required, folks. Hydration. It's a lot of solo casting. Factory coming down, barracks coming down. That's the attack lab. We're looking for the swap around. Prematurely by the looks of it, but hey, might as well start to build a wall over here. Why not? Are we going to see tanks? Are we going to see tanks? Any tanks? Nope. Infernal Pre-Ignite a Hellion for SjoW, though. So he's back to his comfort zone. I don't really blame him. Tanks must follow this up, surely. Starport is coming down. There we go. There's the tank, and there's the research for it. So Infernal Pre-Ignite a Hellion might not do so well unless he's able to combine it into a drop. He does not have a Starport yet. None whatsoever. So I wouldn't be too worried about that for him. Have a do. Hey, have a do. What the hell is that? I don't even know what that means. We've got pretty even mineral comparison right now, although SjoW should be able to equalize quite rapidly once he really gets that command center up and rolling properly. Now it's an orbital command, so Mule will come down right now. Almost prophetic, folks. Because, you know, they never build Mules from orbital command centers. That's a very unusual move. And SeleCT just holding that line. It looks like we're going to get another Turtle Fest here, folks. It's not the kind of TVT that I like to play, but that's because I'm bad. It's the kind of TVT these guys like to play because they're not bad. They are, in fact, very, very, very good. If you hadn't already realized, if you're watching this on the monitors, yes, these guys are crazy. You're watching this on the stream, you've never watched a StarCraft 2 match before, yes, these guys are actually crazy. Literally crazy. They're just bonkers. They're off their rocker. And they're very, very good at what they do. In the meantime, SjoW's going to get some valuable scouting information going over here. Another swap around, playing musical chairs right here with these buildings. Are we going to see Banshees from SeleCT? That would be interesting if we did. Raven also a possibility. Holding back by the looks of it. He certainly doesn't have the gas for a Raven. He started the cloak right now, so we are going to see Banshees from him. SeleCT rolling out as rapidly as possible. SjoW nicely guarded, though. I wouldn't be too concerned right now, though. Cloaked Banshee could catch SjoW completely unawares. It's the kind of thing that SjoW likes to build. It's like, you can't do that. That's my build. It's unacceptable. However, he probably expects that that's coming from his teammate, because he plays his teammate a huge amount. So there you go. Now, SeleCT unit comparison right now. 11 Marines to 11 Marines. 3 Siege Tanks to 2, and a couple of Hellions, Infernal Pre-Ignite Hellions no less, on the field for SjoW. The thing is, they can't actually do anything. He has no drop capability yet. He needs to get that if he'd actually like to do any damage with them whatsoever. That is a fairly significant investment just to then ignore it. I can only imagine he's going to try and maybe mix them in there. In the meantime, SeleCT just keeping an eye on things. We're actually going to see a pretty big push right here from SjoW, and does SeleCT have the units he needs to deal with it? It's actually looking quite unlikely. SeleCT is not really all that far ahead in terms of his unit count. In fact, he's lagging significantly behind. With 3 tanks in the field, that could be messy. However, a Cloaked Banshee could really ruin his day, and it's already on the way. No guard against that whatsoever. That entire mineral line could be very easily gutted. In the meantime, SjoW looking for the push right here. Needs to bring down that. There you go. The Marines able to deal with that. And now SjoW should be able to start inflicting fairly heavy damage on SeleCT. In the meantime, however, look at what's coming in the process. And SjoW has to pull everything off the line in order to deal with that. So mutually assured harassment right here. Mass repairs going on that particular siege tank. It's holding up very well. In fact, it might take, takes 1 siege tank. Can he take another? That siege tank has 5 kills. It is a heroic siege tank. In the meantime, SjoW looking to drop right on it and end its heroic career. And you know what? It might work. And there you go. Marines coming from the sky right now. Takes it. There you go. It takes 1. Looks for the second one. Vikings on the ground as well. And mobile siege tanks trying to back up. Here's the deployment. Will he lose all the siege tanks in the process? No, he only loses 1. The Banshee now reinforcing. In the meantime, what is this Banshee actually doing? Trying to do as much damage as it can, and now finally annihilate the cloak, having run out. And another Banshee able to deal with that very easily. A quick pickup. SjoW doesn't have a huge amount of units left to actually deal some damage, but it's more than SeleCT has, which is precisely none. Driving them once again away from that mineral line. The army supply count is critically low on both sides. Stim is on its way for SjoW. He doesn't have it right now. SeleCT, on the other hand, does. Not that it matters when you have a shell land on your face, but still, he has Stim, and that's useful. SeleCT still taking a bunch of shelling right now. The mining operations have recommenced right now for SjoW. There's the mineral comparison. SeleCT is way behind right now as a result of still taking siege tank fire. Not ideal. Not exactly. We look at workers killed. 25 workers killed by SjoW versus 4 for SeleCT. Massive, massive difference right there. Worker supply count 37 to 47 in SjoW's favor. There's the stim. Can he run into there? He looks for it. Takes one Viking. Or does he? He doesn't manage to pull it off. And in fact, the Vikings get away, but he does take the siege tank out nonetheless, losing a couple of Marines in the process. Still, as Infernal Pre-Ignited Hellions not really coming into play right now. Might be something he wants to consider, considering the number of Marines that are coming up for Select. However, 2 more tanks redeployed, and SjoW still sitting on map control right now. Those Banshees might take a few free Marines. 1 down, 2 down, and 3. There we go. And that one actually deciding death by tank is preferable to death by Banshee. SjoW rolling out once again. Still with a lot of pressure coming on. His economy looking very good, although Select has just dropped a huge number of mules to try and compensate for that. Map control was in favor of SjoW, although it looks like he's probably going to have to concede it as Select redeploys his tanks and tries to get a little bit more aggressive right here. Oh, SjoW. What are you up to? Tanks on the way, Marines on the way, Stim on the way, Vikings on the way. Another factory to back that one up. Still, those Infernal Pre-Ignited Hellions not doing too much, and Select looking for yet more harassment. However, SjoW is ready for him this time around. Missile turret is deployed. Not going to be able to do too much here at all. Although he does actually have the range. He takes out one, he looks for a second. He actually could do a significant damage right here. The cloak is off. It doesn't really matter. He's actually slightly out of range of the missile turret. He takes 6. He looks for a 7th. He immediately takes a huge amount of fire from those Vikings, and that is one dead Banshee. But probably worthwhile. However, in the meantime, he snuck in after this one. He's taken 3 kills, looks for the 4th right now. Big, big stim push away, and Select with excellent micromanagement manages to move away very rapidly. 2 more command centers coming down, and we are once again in for the long haul, folks. Yes, we are. Army count comparison. SjoW has the advantage, but not by a huge amount. How much damage will he be able to do? Upgrades-wise, it doesn't even matter. Stim's only just finished. Marine Shield is not up for either right now. It is being researched by Select, but it's way too far away to make any difference to the upcoming engagement. SjoW should have a numbers advantage, but it really depends. Is he going to run into a siege tank force? This standoff, once again, might come into play. Those air forces will certainly help. SjoW running into that. Wow, taking huge amounts of damage in the process. That was a critical error by SjoW, and SjoW getting torn apart as a direct result of that. Nice defense there by Select, and really it comes down to more the fact that SjoW just seems to be tired and just ran into a wall of pain. I don't blame him. I'm pretty knackered as well, and he might even lose this. No, he can't. He lost the medevac with a tank in it as well. That is not good at all. Select with an excellent counter push right here. His army supply now rolling forward at a very good rate. Marine trying to guard this area. Where will those expansions come? I have to wonder. Where will they come? Planetary Fortress is on the way. However, it's not really in an ideal position right now. Interesting stuff, isn't it? There we go. 3rd expansion. 2nd expansion, in fact. 3rd base coming down right here for Select. He is ready to roll. His economy is looking very, very good. Extremely good, in fact. There we go. SjoW with the Planetary Fortress down the bottom. Easily able to deal with some harassment. We get the Planetary Fortress here. Of course we are. Sounds like a very sensible thing to do. Harassment would make a significant difference at this stage of the game. Select with a slight unit count advantage once again. His upgrades... there's really no difference, is there? Let's be honest. It's +1 on both. Army count almost identical. Unit composition almost identical. Sensor tower coming down for Select right now. It's not really bothering with anything other than just trying to hold those Xel'Naga watchtowers and keeping an eye on his opponent, but still no sign of things like Hellion drops right in the line. Oh, except for that one, which goes into the mineral line right there, and he's able to do some damage. Admittedly, there's really nothing to kill other than the spare SCVs, which are not really needed right now. So I wouldn't call that all that significant. In the meantime, SjoW with a drop down there, nails down the Banshee in the process. Select a garden of tanks, one might say. Like a cacophony of tanks. Sitting around there doing absolutely nothing, lazing about, leeching off the system. Damn socialist tanks. Siege tanks on the way for SjoW as well. Socialist. Socialist? That's awful. I'm not even going to bother trying. SjoW. What can you do? Well, he certainly can't assault that, not with Marines. He's going to need something significantly better than that. He does have control of that Xel'Naga watchtower. That will help, however, Select has the numbers advantage. SjoW needs to leave immediately. Stims away as rapidly as possible. And unfortunately, SjoW doesn't really have any follow-up to that. So that was just, well, he just injured his Marines just to get away. He wasn't able to draw anyone out of position. Select keeping an eye on things right now. making sure there's no expansion, and of course holding his own area to make sure he's not denied any more expansions after his game with Hazel Orbs earlier. I don't really blame him. SjoW just hanging around, chilling out, relaxing, all cool, shooting some b-ball outside of the space school, and a couple of Marines that were up to no good started making trouble in his neighborhood. He got into one little fight, and his mom got scared, and he said, well, you're moving with your auntie and uncle into the Kaprulu sector. At which point he was eaten by Zerg, and that was the end of the series. Well, SeleCT, you're going to go and attack him? Might be a plan. This is the problem when you get TVT, that it devolves into a silly ground war like this. It's just, this is all it is. It's just massive tank lines, which is fairly entertaining when people run into them, but still. SeleCT air superiority is in question right now, as SjoW's able to pick off a Viking very easily. However, he does have a significant number of medivacs. This is probably not going to work out so well, as SjoW is about to find out. However, he's actually found an angle, and there we go. He's able to take out one, takes out two, and then lose all the rest of his Marines in the process. So you have to wonder if that was really worthwhile, and also the medivac might get torn apart as well in the process. Not good, not good. Army count comparison is, well, pretty much equal. Income count comparison is in favor of SjoW right now. Considering he had to pull all of those units off the line, I really don't blame him. Deploys a tank just to try and deal with the rest. It's tanking the tank. Wonderful. Oh, it finally goes down. How very, very unfortunate for him. One medivac simply not enough. In the meantime, we have a little bit of tit-for-tat artillery war going on right here. Trench warfare between these two. Is SeleCT going to be able to roll out and do big damage? We'll find out. In the meantime, a command center coming down right here. SeleCT will find it. Will he be able to kill it? Probably not. He doesn't really have the unit count for it, but he can kill the SCV, more to the point. Just actually raining down the damage on the command center. He's going to force a cancel one way or the other. I'm actually surprised he's just not killing the SCV completely. Looking for the kill. There we go. SCV is now down. Command center will, of course, be cancelled, I would imagine. Right about... Did he cancel that? Yeah, it looks like he did. It was looking very, very close, whatever the case. SjoW redeploys right now, and that could be unpleasant for SeleCT. It's very, very, very close. Very close to being sniped out right there. One free medevac, looks for the second one. The second one brought down, and looks for the third one as well. Will he be able to get it? No, he will not. SjoW holding the line. And in the meantime, unfortunately, SeleCT's found an opening and he's going to exploit it to the fullest. Moving in as quickly as possible, and that mineral line is doomed, folks. It is absolutely doomed. SjoW caught completely off guard right there. There wasn't a lot of minerals left there anyway, but that's not good. And he might even lose the command center at this rate. He'll easily lose the simulator, that I can guarantee. SjoW in the meantime pushing forward, and can he crack the tank line? He actually really can't. It's 3-on-3 right now, and he threw a huge amount of units in the process to actually deal with that. Army supply is leaking badly for SjoW right now. SeleCT doing extremely well at prosecuting this particular offensive. We have a look at units lost, then SjoW is bleeding badly. If we have a look at the income, then SjoW is bleeding badly. He's lost this. He can't expand anywhere. He's still working on this one. However, note that SeleCT is just powering ahead in terms of the economy. I would be very concerned right now because this could be the opening that SeleCT has been looking for in this particular encounter. He managed to find his way past that siege line. The question is, can he do it again? Because SjoW is not going to leave that opening for him this time around. However, SeleCT does have an army count advantage. Not a huge one, but reasonable. More upgrades rolling out for him. Level 2 infantry upgrade, level 2 infantry armor for SjoW, pretty much complete. 2 more siege tanks coming in, Marines on the way as well. Expansion on the way for SeleCT. And here we go. We're looking for yet another push. Here's the push forward, and it's good as well, because SeleCT, of course, has air superiority right now, and he's able to take out a free tank, kill a few Marines in the process. That's good. That has widened the army gap significantly, as you can see right there. SeleCT, the minor redeployment, trying to draw SjoW out. Needs to get SjoW into the position where he can crush him with one blow. This could be the end game right now. It really, really could. If SeleCT is able to pull this off, if he's able to get his deployment correct. Not a huge amount of harassment going on, not a huge amount of drops, simply a standoff between these two excellent players. Upgrade count is going in favor of SeleCT now as well. He actually has level 3 infantry coming in. SeleCT decides he wants to back off, look for another way around. Is there another way in? Well, on a map like this, yes, this area is really vulnerable. If he's able to actually get at this expansion and kill it, that could be game over. And SjoW, once again, is getting caught out of position. In the meantime, he's got drops of his own going on. It's going to be a little bit of a base race, which will go in favor of SeleCT if he decides to go for it. He flanks him completely. Here comes the deployment, and SjoW is, of course, ready to move away immediately. However, these Marines are on their way. They could destroy this base up here. They will take a huge amount of damage in the process, though. He needs the tanks as well. Planetary Fortress will take a terrible toll on them. It's risky, folks. It's very, very risky. But here we go. That is dead. There's just, what else can you say? Against a force of that size, there is no way it will survive. It will melt in about now. Now that SjoW's economy completely and totally crippled. He's looking to try and crush it right here. If he can, then he might be able to get on with a counter-attack. But right now, he does have a drop going on the base. He might be able to take out some of the tech right now, but he doesn't really have the unit count that he needs to make that happen. A quick pick up and go, and SeleCT is in the main base with a lot more Marines than SjoW has, let me put it that way. He runs right into a deployment of siege tanks. Should be able to break the line, but not without taking significant losses in the process. Here comes the Marine count, driving its way through the production buildings of SjoW right now. And honestly, SjoW, he doesn't have anything to respond to it with. He can't move quickly enough. In the meantime, we are in a base race that SeleCT will surely win. There's just too much firepower right now. Looking for level 3 infantry upgrade. It's on its way. Huge amount. Brings down a factory. Starport going down as well. His supply getting absolutely gutted. His army count is not good right now at all. His worker count is completely destroyed. His economy is wrecked. SeleCT should be able to take him right here. One more barracks down. Another barracks down. When will he give up? When will SjoW actually give up right now? The tanks are finally able to clear up the force of SjoW. Surely he must GG very, very soon. He can't be thinking that he'll be able to take this out, but he goes for the final push nonetheless. He does have the forces for it. If he's get a good siege tank deployment, a quick pick up and go, and he'll leave a few stragglers behind, but nothing major. SeleCT is actually able to escape from that very easily, and now the drop on what's left of SjoW's economy, which is very, very little. That's another dead command center, no 7 CCs for you this time around, and the income is precisely bugger all right now. He's got this one over here, but that really is about it. Army count-wise, however, well, it's still in SjoW's favor. Will he be able to grab him? SeleCT has a surprise waiting for him. Rains it down and does a lot of damage to that force. And there's not enough medivacs to fix it up either. Only a single medivac. Very heavily injured Marines right now. Siege tank is taken out as well in the process. Surely this is... I mean, SjoW's not the kind of guy to quit easily. Bear that one in mind. But this is really looking in favor of SeleCT right now. SjoW's going to have to pull off some kind of miracle maneuver to come back from this one. SeleCT now has level 3 infantry weapons and 78 Marines in the process. He can just push right now. He really can. He can go for it. He could undeploy his siege tanks, he could ram them down the throat of SjoW, and he could win, because he simply has an upgrade advantage over his opponent. But right now he won't if he continues to wait, because Terran infantry armor is on its way, level 3. It should be ready before the next engagement. In the meantime, here comes the drop, and is he going to force? SjoW doesn't see it. That's critical. Here we go. This economy should get destroyed as well. And in the meantime, will SeleCT push behind this? Surely he must. Gotta think that he'll do just that. Tries to nail it down into the bunker. A smart move there by SjoW. Able to get away with the command center. In the meantime, here comes the engagement. Right into the line. SjoW caught without deployment. Here comes the deployment. It's not going to happen. GG, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. That's what I'm talking about right there. SeleCT wins it and knocks SjoW down to the losers bracket. What a series that was. An excellent, a masterclass, a grand masterclass, in fact, in the subject of TVT.